Uh-oh, excuse me. Can I get this out from under it real quick? Just move that. There we go.
You weren't here when I saw
Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday. Out of here.
I work at CAE at the flight training school.
Into it. Into.
Scott Stevens will come in and put it on all.
Yeah, I know. I ran away yesterday, said, it ain't too many stuff.
It's a curtain. Welcome back to South Georgia Home. My name is Gail. We're gonna do the haul here today because over there we're gonna do some redecorating to attach to the video that you'll see before this. So you'll see all that, but you're not gonna see it on this video. Anyway, went to 2 estate sales today. Jason, unfortunately for him, had to work. I got to go to 2 estate sales by myself. And the first one, it was their first day. They're doing it Friday and Saturday. It's a brand new company. The people who were doing it worked for another estate sale company, one of my favorites. They branched off now and they've got their own. This was their first official sale as their own company. And got a great price off of what I got. It will blow your mind. And then the second sale was a privately done one, according to estatesales.net, where I found it at. It was privately listed. There was no company name. And they were very staunch about it started at 9 o'clock. Lady met me at my car door telling me it only starts at 9 because I was there maybe 15 minutes ahead. So first one started at 8. I did my shopping, got out, got over there, and I was still 15 minutes ahead of when it started. So, and I'm happy with what I got there. You will see in the video, there was a, pay attention to it, there was a dining room cabinet or china cabinet in one of those rooms in the first house. And it had a set of what I normally collect. Those cream colored plates that I decorate with. I also have a version of that plate that has the blue and pink roses on it. They had a whole set of those blue and pink roses. $40. It was $40 for that set. Not a bad price. Not a bad price at all. I was not prepared for a whole set of dishes though. I had no boxes, no paper. I was by myself. I did not want to have to wrap all that up, put it in my car, and it get jumbled around all over because I still had to go, after both estate sales, I had to go pick up chicken feed and I had to go to Walmart, and I came home to the local Piggly Wiggly to buy some stuff that was on sale, and I had to go pick up a cemetery flower I had ordered for Mom for Mother's Day. There was a lot that was going on. So I just didn't worry with it, but I thought it was a very good price. And if you see it and you think, well, she normally buys that. If they'd been selling it piece by piece, I would have probably bought a few pieces, but not as a whole set. And then the second house is going to be the one that has that avocado green oven and refrigerator. So there's going to be 2 separate houses. Anyway, we'll get started with what I got in the first house. This was probably the first thing I picked up when I walked in the front door. I know clocks are getting to be, or have been maybe a decorative thing here for the last little while, getting hot. And more antique or vintage stuff. This is not either, I don't think. But I like the look of it. I've tried it in a couple places here and I wasn't really thrilled, but I have one more place I'm going to try. It's a Shannon brand, and it does, as you can see, easily come out, the clock part, because you want to change your batteries there. But it was only $2, but it's going to be for decoration. If I put a battery in it to keep time, we're going to be lucky, but it is for decoration. So this was, I saw it in the pictures, and by the time I got to that room, it was like the 3rd or 4th room that I got to. It was still there. Matter of fact, I was like reaching around someone. So excuse me, and grabbing it up. I've never seen one of these and I don't really know what it is. I haven't Google Lensed it or anything. Maybe you can tell me. It's just a little cup with its own lid. And you see it's got a flower on it and it's got a flower on the bottom of the cup. So I don't know if it was, back in the day, they would use like Hazel Atlas cups to sell sour cream or cottage cheese or cream cheese or whatever. They would have like the plastic lids on them, and then the glass itself held the stuff. And then it was a marketing thing because people would want a set and they would keep going back to buy the sour cream to get the set. They would have them in big glasses and juicers. So I don't know if this is kind of along that same line. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. But I got that. It was $4. And those were the only 2 items that were marked with a price. Now, they had several boxes of frames. And you know me, I'm a sucker for a good frame. I am on the hunt for smaller frames, though, with a more decorative border. I mean, I have a plenty of those just plain brass square frames. Trying to phase those out and get some with a little more decoration to them. Unfortunately, there were none at this sale. But I did find this one. This is a 5x7, and I like the way that the frame looks. It needs to be dusted, as you can see. But I like the way that frame looks, and it does have a kickstand. I'm really bad about picking up a frame with no kickstand. But I like that. And then I bought this one. I've told you before that I have my grandfather's discharge paperwork from World War II, and we like World War II stuff around here. And I have some vintage military memorabilia over there. I want to include his with that. And I bought a frame here a while back, but it was too light. The wood was too light. And I think I've donated it back to Goodwill since then. But I picked this one up today because I like the look of it, that darker. And this isn't wood. I mean, it's veneer. You can, it's just not. It's made to look like wood, but I don't think it is. And it's a cheaper frame. And you can see the problem that I have is this keeps sliding out. So once I get the form in, I'm going to probably have to tape this in so it doesn't slide out, and then put a Velcro strip up there to hold it on. But I don't even know if they were in a box, so I don't know if it said on the box how much a piece. I don't know. They weren't marked, so you just grab what you want. I did get this, and I don't know why. I have one, and I think I've shown it several videos back, and a viewer commented that the little strawberry on the end is what you use to sharpen your needles. Now, I am not a sewer. I'm not into, I don't do the sewing machines and knitting and all that kind of stuff. So completely new to me. But this is not, I don't think, old. And I don't know why I picked it up. There was another one, and I left it. Different. It might have been older than this one. I don't know. But it does have a strawberry, and it does have a few pins. But someone said that you sharpen your needles on that. It's full of like little pebbles or something, and sharpen your needles. So that came home. Now, you did see me going through the doilies, and you did see me chunk one to the side. So yeah, you probably know. It came home. I like the look of that little bit of linen right in the middle. It just kind of puts you in mind that cool linen look. And I like that. So that, and for what I paid, this was probably nothing. Now, this was out in the shed, and according to their pictures, they had several pumpkins, but by the time I got there, because it was the last stop for me before I left this sale, they were all gone except for this one. And this is probably a Hobby Lobby piece. I've had one exactly like this that I had for several years. When it started fading, I would go paint it. And what I would do, is, since it's so large, we would put a hole, drill a hole. My husband drilled a hole and would stick a dowel rod up its butt. I have a water trough out there. It's an old galvanized water trough, and it's got holes in the bottom. That's why nobody used it for cattle or horses. I asked somebody, it was in their pasture, and they said, hey, you mind, we'll pay you for it. And was no, take it, because it's, it's no good. The bottom was eat out of rust or whatever. So we filled it up with dirt, and it's a flower bed. So in the fall, when the chrysanthemums are in there, we will take something like this, and like I said, put the dowel in it and stick it down in the dirt. So it isn't just sitting on top of the dirt to blow away. And believe me, the semis, as fast as they go past here, they'll blow it out. Or a storm. But I used it for several years, and it finally fell apart. These things do have a seam, and they will come apart. So it got chunked. So this will be a replacement for that. And what was funny is I went, after both estate sales, I had to go get chicken feed. And the little kid that was putting my chicken feed in the back of my car, he looks and he sees the pumpkin. He says, isn't it a little early to decorate for fall? As well, it came from the estate sale. And if it's cheap enough, you buy it. So you did see me pick this up and say, oh, a cute basket. And it is a cute basket. And the story of my life is I got it, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But I know as soon as I left it, I would have needed it. So I picked it up. And it probably cost pennies, $1, $2 for what I paid. But I like the fact that it's just a short handle on a deep basket. And this would be great. It would be really pretty if you were going to do, and I know you shouldn't think about being pretty when you're harvesting. Like our garden right now, we're getting a lot of pickles out of our garden right now. Our onions are done. They're on the ground drying out. And soon, hopefully, we're going to have some zucchini and squash. And we've got potatoes that are not yet ready to dig, and beans that are putting on buds. So hopefully pretty soon we'll have some more stuff coming out of the garden. And that would be really, really pretty if you could fill that up full of vegetables. That would be a really pretty sight. Now, the two items that really I thought was going to cost a lot of money were not priced. They were on the same table out on the back porch, and I was shocked they were still there. This is one of them, Maxwell House. It may not be worth anything, but you know, I think it's a Maxwell House coffee tin, and it's in great shape. You can hear something rattling. It's just shoelaces or something somebody stuffed in there. But you can see it's easy to take off the top and put it back on, so it's not rusted together. You can see here where the key was. I guess you pop the key off and then you take the ring around it to take the top off. But Maxwell House, and I don't know when they stopped using the metal, the old metal cans. 1 pound Maxwell House coffee. Oh, what does that say? High grade. High grade. So that, and this will be for sale probably around Christmas. It's slightly damaged, but I think you can get past that. It was just sitting there on the table, and I thought, wow, it's still here. You can see the reins are gone, and you could probably take some red thread or yarn and replace that. Now, this guy over here, his little brace right there is broken, but it's not affecting him staying in his spot. And you can see they got little spots on them, little gold spots. But there's Santa Claus sitting there, and he's got the tree and the snowman and presents. And this boot just sticking out. I thought it was his leg at first, but it's not. It's just a boot, because there's another one somewhere. There's his foot. There's his foot down there. You can see it. Little black foot right there. And that boot, I guess, is supposed to be a stocking. But, yeah, I thought that was really pretty, and probably come up around Christmas time for sale. So, now that's all from that estate sale. And here is the price. $10. $10 for all of that. And those last two things, that Maxwell House coffee thing and the Santa Claus, I thought would cost more than that just each, but $10 for that. Now, it just seemed like one of those days where it's like the planets are all in alignment. You know, you get to the sale in time, things that are like that was still in place. Somebody hadn't already snatched them up. And I was catching all the green lights like I wanted to, and everything was just going great. It was just, one of those days where it's like, you're just having a great time. I had a wonderful time. Jason had to work. Sorry, Jace. Anyway, we're going to go into the second sale. And like I said, it was the house that had the avocado green appliances in it. I think that guy built that house and never did anything else to it. It just seemed that way, that it was built and was never changed. Anyway, these cups, if you know the stuff that I collect, and I was just talking about the ones that had the blue and pink roses and the plain versus the plain. They have cups. I think there's two versions really. There's a version that's unmarked and there's a version that's marked USA. And the one that I mostly have is unmarked. These, however, I think go with it in some way, or they go with the ones that are marked USA. They're plain, but they go with the set, and I'm happy to have them. You see it says USA. The ones that I have a little detail around the bottom, and they're not quite this big, but I saw these and I immediately knew. Even the ones that I saw at the first sale with the blue and pink on it, it was the same kind of cups. They just had the blue and pink flowers on it. So I bought all three at 50 cents a piece. So that will go in the collection. Not for sale, but in the collection. This I saw, and you probably saw me pick it up. It was sitting there by its own box. I just stuck it in the box, put it in my bag. The little oil lamp, and it does work. You can see the wick go up and down. If you wanted to put you some, I don't know what you're going to read with that, but talk about a nightlight. But $1 for that. This was in the kitchen also. I think I found it on my second route. I did do two or three routes to the house, and so this was on the second time. The ball jar, and this is the levered lid. I haven't tried to get it off. It does have a rubber seal, and it looks horrible. I want to see if I can pry it off, because I think I have some rubber seals that might fit it that I've bought before. But yeah, it'll go up. I've got another one. I've got a tall one of these up there on top of my tri-corner cabinet. It might go up there with that one. And I have the blue version as well. I have, I think, 2 of the blue versions. Now this too, this was outside. She did have some tables outside on the back side of the house. You didn't really see them until you went out there, like you were going to the backyard to look at some, because there was lawn stuff and chairs set up on the backyard. So when I went that way looking, I looked back and there was those tables on the back side of the house. On the back, there was a lot of canning jars. She had some ball jar lids, and then she had these cur jar lids. Older. Now, these are older. They don't have a barcode on them at all, but it does tell you how much they originally cost, 53 cents. They were $1. She did have like a piece of Scotch tape on it, and I carefully peeled that off just to make sure I didn't take off any of the color. This, ooh, I almost dropped it, was in, I think it was in that back room with the Christmas stuff. Anyway, I passed it over, and then when I went back the second time, I kept picking up and looking at it, and I thought, I could probably paint that. Project after project comes to you, right? It's not a real wood corbel. It's plaster, I think. But yeah, I thought, you know, you could paint that, distress it, do something with it, and it could be like a bookend, or, you know, hold up a book, or hold up your cookbooks, or hold up your Bibles or something with that. It isn't super heavy. It is heavy, and I think it can do the job of a bookmark admirably, but yeah, I do want a different color. It's $2 for that, though. Now, these were outside on the table. They were $1 a piece. Picked up one. I like this one because of the patina on it. I can't make out. These were just advertising pieces. This one I think came from Kmart, paint shop in Kmart. But I can't make out the business that put this one out. They were $1 a piece. And I always joke that I keep these because my grandmother used to whip my husband with yardsticks. I think she whipped me with yardsticks. I don't, so please don't call the ASPCA or whoever. Don't call them on me because I don't whip him. He probably needs to be, but I don't. This is something he's really going to love too, because there's another project piece. I couldn't leave this behind. It is huge for the length, and I have gone to every room in my house to see if I could find a place that I could put this. I don't believe it was ever made to hang up because there's no screw holes and there's no brackets on the back to hang it. But it would make a lovely coat hanger somewhere. It was only $5, as you can see, and it's got like a whitewash on it. So I do want to paint it. But look at this wood. This is old wood. What we call fat lighter around here, most people would call rich pine. It's that wood that's really got a lot of turpentine in it. If you're making a fire, you know, you've got your logs and you'll use these little slivers of rich pine, what we call fat lighter. It'll help. It ignites a little quicker than real wood or than regular wood. And I think that's what this is. I think it's fat lighter wood. But yeah, and it does have, you know, that routed edge on both ends and around the edges. So I don't know if it's homemade or what, but it's really well done, and I really, really want to find somewhere to put it. Now this, to me, I saw it on a table, on an end table, and I thought, oh, because I do like World War II stuff. I thought it was a documentary series or a couple of books or magazines or something about the Battle of Midway. Midway, June 1945, June 4th. Then I opened it up, and you can see here the original sticker was to a booth, someone's antique booth for $12.99. But here was what was in it. It's a game board. It's a game. They made a game out of Midway, Japanese and Americans. You've got 2 boards. You got that one. And then this one. You've also got your manual. You've got scorecards. There's even a few scorecards in here that's been used. If you need to see how it's done. It's already got the original paperwork that came with the game itself still in there. And then you've got these little paper tabs. Some of them represent planes. Some of them represent ships. Like this is the Enterprise. And this one is the Astoria. And then you've got, of course, the Japanese side. where you have the Soryu, something like that. And then you've got, what is this one? The King Shima. And you've also got your own little, oh, that's a sub, I think. Maybe, I don't know. You got these little playing pieces. Some of them have planes, some of them have other things on it. So I think it's just cool. I've never, ever seen one. Now, I don't know if it'll be for sale or if we're going to keep it. It's not in the best of shape. As you can see, the corners, they've tried to tape some of the corners up, which, I mean, I appreciate that. They're trying to keep everything inside. But I don't know that we'll sell this or we'll keep it. One of the two. I'm sure one of the two, but I'm just not quite sure yet if I'm willing to say I'm willing to sell it. I don't know. I don't know how old this is, where this dates back to. It says made in the USA. Avalon Hills trademark. Name for its naval air battle game. Copyright 1964. Copyright 1964. So 1964 at least. Anyway, that was there. I passed this over once. I looked at it and just kept on going. Then when I went back, I thought, it's $5. You never know what the future holds if we ever do get that elusive booth, if we ever get there, which we're still not ready for that yet. But if we ever do, this may come in handy to decorate at Christmas. These are just old picks. I guarantee you probably won't walk into Hobby Lobby and find picks like this. These are the prettiest ones to me, with that little pine cone in it. And then this one's, it's all plastic. It's not real pine cone, so plastic. And when you open up this bag, you can just smell that old plastic. I mean, just smell. If you've ever been to an estate sale and you walk into a place or you open up something that's got that old plastic, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, that smell. Anyway, that estate sale was $24. The first one was $10, that one was $24, so $34 for both estate sales. Some things will be for sale, some things will be for decoration, some things will be for use. So, thank you for joining us here at South Georgia Home. And I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the shop along. I try to show you a little bit of where I'm at, but it gets hectic when there's people around, especially people trying to carry on conversations or people saying something to me and I'm trying to respond. But I mean, if I watch somebody, that's probably my most favorite part is watching the shop along. And then I want to make sure you see what I picked up as well. So thank you for joining us. If you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment. We do like to read and respond to as many as we can. And we hope to see you back here again soon. Thank you.